as a democratic society. Filipinos have the right to information based on the foundation of our democratic processes enshrined in the Philippine Constitution. Under Article 3, Section 7 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, it emphasizes the right of the Filipino people to information on matters of public concern. Thus, the Philippine Information Agency is built on the principles of development communication, reaching out to the grassroots and explaining the policies and programs of the government as a gateway of information for all Filipinos. Created by virtue of EO 100, the Philippine Information Agency was established on December 24, 1986 under former President Corazon C. Aquino. As the enablers of the development of the nation, the PIA continuously serves Filipinos with accurate, timely, and relevant information.
I,
Corazon Cojuangco Aquino,
Corazon Cojuangco Aquino,
Ako si Fidel Valdez Ramos.
Ako si Joseph Ejercito Estrada.
Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Si Benigno Aquino III.
Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Do solemnly swear.
Ako, si Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. ay taimtim na nanunumpa. Natutuparin ko na buong katapatan at sigasig ang aking mga tungkulin bilang Pangulo ng Pilipinas.
In almost 4 decades, the PIA has evolved and strengthened its mandate, committed to provide access to information in order to enhance the people's capabilities in decision-making and promote participation in nation building. Today, the agency continuously strengthened the government's communication capacity towards transforming Filipinos to be thought leaders for the nation. With 16 regional offices and 78 provincial information centers across the country, the PIA is the largest communications network in the Philippines. The PIA engages with the public, making the government seen, heard, and felt. Now, under the leadership of Director General Jose A. Torres Jr. and the guidance of Presidential Communications Secretary Cheloy E. Velicaria Garafil, PIA aims to make Filipinos understand the different policies and programs of the national government while utilizing a whole-of-government approach.
Our unwavering commitment to progress, backed by the collective efforts of our dedicated officials, will undeniably yield tangible benefits for the region and its people. I assure you that we at the Philippine Information Agency stand committed to our role in disseminating relevant and timely information about programs and services. We will continue to ensure the successes and impact of these initiatives reach every corner of the country.
Focusing on development communication and providing communities the access to information, making government policies and programs real, authentic, meaningful, and sustainable in the hearts and minds of every Filipino. Paving the way in communicating the delivery of public policy, PIA continues its legacy by becoming strong advocates of participatory governance, providing factual information dissemination, promoting effective communication for change, boosting social marketing and mobilization, usage of innovative media advocacy, promoting active community participation, and embarking the digital era of media. As the PIA looks forward to a bright and united Philippines under President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. we continue to inform, inspire, and innovate. Because we are the Philippine Information Agency, enablers of Philippine development.
Ngayong hapon, Davao Region, welcome to another episode of One Davao Virtual Presser. We are aired live through the Facebook page of the Philippine Information Agency Davao Region and PTV Davao. We also have a delayed broadcast over Davao City Disaster Radio. Karong adlaw maghisgot kita kabahin sa unsaon pag-recognize o pag-ila sa mga red flags or sa mga dapat bantayan no sa paggamit nato sa social media susama sa Facebook aron dili kita mailad or mabiktima sa mga illegal activities sama sa investment scam or mga love scam no nga kasagaran sad to say nga ang mga biktima no mga kababayen-an no. So although daghan na ang mga warnings or mga advisories nga mabasa nato sa social media, still we need to be reminded no and to learn more about these red flags. So karong hapuna atong makauban ang atong bisita gikan sa Department of Information and Communications Technology Region 11. Siya usa ka engineer, no? Engineer 3 and Cybersecurity Co-Focal ng DICT. Let's welcome Engineer Maria Jessa Garsuta. Maayong hapon, Ma'am Jessa.
Maayong hapon po, ma'am.
Hello. Oo, basig na kay gusto i-greet no sa ato ang mga kauban sa DICT.
Yes, good day sa tanan mga kauban, no? Especially sa ang Regional Director, si Dr. Eva May De La Rosa po.
Yes, thank you so much, RD, Regional Director Eva May De La Rosa, no, for responding positively sa ato ang imbitasyon no diri sa virtual presser. All right, Ma'am Jessa, no, so maghisgot ka sa unsaon no pag-recognize sa ato ang public no, especially sa ato mga kababayen-an on red flags in social media. So si Ma'am Jessa dunay PowerPoint presentation, ma'am.
So, good day again, everyone. I am Engineer Maria Jessa Garsuta of the DICT Region 11. And it is an honor to be invited by the PA11. Thank you, ma'am, for inviting us to discuss such an important topic, such as the cybersecurity awareness for women. Now, today we'll delve into the crucial aspect of recognizing red flags in social media and how it pertains to the safety and security of women in the digital realm. Now, cybersecurity is not just about protecting devices and networks. It's also about safeguarding our identities and privacy and well-being in the cyberspace. Women in particular face unique challenges and risks online, making it essential for us to equip ourselves with the knowledge to identify and address these threats. Now, to start with our discussion, kailangan mo natin malaman no, how digital are we, especially here in the Philippines? Now, these data are taken from the report of the Data Reportal or Digital 2024 Philippines. Now, out of this data, it says here na 86.98 million internet users are here in the Philippines. And out of that daw po, 86.75 million are social media users as of January 2024. And we spend at least 8 hours and 52 minutes on the internet every day. It's possible na most of us, mas mahaba pa yung internet usage natin compared sa sleep natin. And there's an actual na research by a consumer research and data analytics company back in 2023 that Pinoys daw have the least amount of sleep in Southeast Asia. Meaning we spend more time talaga using the internet. But of course, it's not about social media naman always, di ba? Because we are living in a digital world. Most of our transactions, paying bills, buying things, or even our work sa school, we use internet. So as for the report, we use naman mga 3 hours and 34 minutes on social media. Actually, bumaba ito compared from the previous years. Because in 2021, Actually, we were the top one in spending internet or time in the internet, the worldwide. But in 2024, we are top 3 daw. Top 3 in average daily time spent using the internet. Back on 2021 again, we were top 1 on social media usage. We were the number 1 social media users in the world. But right now, we are on top 4. This is actually good for us because that means na hindi na tayo masyadong gumagamit ng social media or we're not spending too much time on the internet compared to the previous years. Because again, if we spend too much time on the internet, there are more ways for cyber criminals to make us their victims. And it's also noteworthy that in the internet, there are 52.3% female users and 47.7% are male users of the social media. Now, however, these opportunities comes with risk. The more na gumagamit nga tayo ng internet, there are risks then, particularly in the form of cybercrime. Now, cybercrime is a significant threat to individuals and organizations worldwide, and women are often disproportionately affected by this. And it is important to understand the types of threats that exist to take proactive measures to prevent them. Our reality today is that there is a growing pandemic of cyber violence against women and children. And social media platforms not only offer connectivity and opportunities, but they also harbor various risks. And that is why we need to know about those risks, specifically on social media. Now, in this segment, we are talking about social media red flags. So this means or this refers to warning signs or indicators of potentially problematic behavior or circumstances observed on individual or entities' social media profiles. Now, these red flags can be signals for issues such as dishonesty, inappropriate behavior, or potential risks to personal safety and security. So we identified 5 types of red flags on social media, namely unusual account behavior, phishing attempts, privacy settings anomalies, unwanted communication, and suspicious content. Now, iisahin natin ito na pag-discuss. Now, first one is unusual account behavior. Specifically or especially when you with your current friends on social media. One of the indicators that your account is hacked or an account is hacked is when you notice na yung biglang pagdami ng friends or followers without any significant event or change in their account. So, ano yung mga significant event na sinasabi ko? It's like naging trending yung mga posts niya and something like that. Of course, di ba, pag maging trending yun, there's a reason bakit dumami yung friends or followers niya. However, if there's nothing like that, check if you can see their friends list. Mapapansin nyo naman siguro, di ba, if yung friends nila are like dummy accounts lang. So then you'd have to notify your friend na ikaw pa ba yung may access or ikaw lang ba yung may access ng account mo because there are a lot of new friends we are seeing in your account. Baka kasi na-hack na siya. If na-hack siya, you won't know or he won't know na meron na parang maraming friends or followers. Now, number 2 is uncharacteristic posts or comments. We know that there's something wrong with an account or a page if it's posting something na hindi naman dapat. Just like last year, there are NGAs, LGUs, SUCs, even mga private individuals na na-hack last year, di ba? And what do we do when we see that an account is hacked? We have to help report it. Or if bago pa lang, we have to help notify the owner para ma-actionan agad. Next one is newly created profiles or pages. Number 1 indicator talaga ito if fake ang isang account, if newly created lang siya. And may mga post siya na sabay-sabay lang din yung pag-upload. Especially if nagpa-add siya or nag-request siya sa'yo during that day din na or during that month ng paggawa niya ng account. So you have to check first before you accept those requests. So make sure that you do social media audit first. And of course, yung mga suspicious account activities such as excessive sharing or yung pagtatag. Next one is phishing attempts. Now, phishing attempts are tricking individuals into revealing sensitive information like your password, credit card numbers, or personal data. Now, if you think na may isang link na sinend sa'yo, don't try to click or open those links. Scammers are getting more sophisticated with email and text messages, even social media messages. So don't click on any links or open any attachments from sources you don't recognize. They may even send links or to websites na you would think na legit kasi nga nagagaya nila ng bongga yung mga websites na totoo. So you have to check first kung isa ba itong scam before clicking, or better if hindi mo talaga kilala kung sino nag-send sa'yo, don't click or open those links. So samples of mga phishing attempts can be lottery scams. Magsasabi na nanalo ka sa ganitong raffle even if hindi ka naman nag-join ng isang raffle. So dapat magtaka ka na nun, bakit ako mananalo if hindi naman ako nag-join? Donation scams. Magsasabi na you have to donate on this one. They will have or give you very lengthy reasons or scenarios or narratives. Contest scams. Mananalo ka pag mag-fill out ka ng mga forms na ito. Instead of fill out lang ng name mo, pinihingi talaga lahat ng details from your name, address, phone number. Magtaka ka na if mag-a-ask pa sila ng MPIN ng GCash kasi daw dun isa-send yung napanalunan mo. Coupon scams like 50% off on Netflix or free shipping on Shopee, Zalora, Lazada, yung mga ganon. Especially inheritance scams. Magsasabi na old na daw siya, matanda na siya, sabihin niya na wala siyang next of kin, mayaman siya, na panaginipan niya yung name mo, and sinearch niya on social media your name, and ikaw yung lumabas. Ikaw daw yung bibigyan niya. You just have to give them your number, your bank details. So, of course, if it's too good to be true, it is possibly a scam. Mostly a scam. Isa pa is it's this use scam. With this scam, you get a link through a Facebook Messenger asking for if a video or image of someone doing something possible embarrassing siya. When you click on that link, you either download a malware or get your browser hacked by that attacker. Kasi na-click mo yung link. So a scammer can then spy on you, or whatever you input on your website, especially login credentials, makukuha nila yun. Don't click on those, is this you scam? Like, ikaw ba itong nasa video na ito? Huwag tayong maniwala agad. Huwag tayong matakot agad. Isa pa is, someone unfriended you or see who viewed your profile. Meron kasing iba na natatakot na baka na-unfriend na ng mga friends nila, and meron ding mga siguro accounts thinking or they will say that they are customer support for Facebook or TikTok or IG. So sasabihin dun na someone unfriended you, click on this link to see kung sino yung nag-unfriend sa'yo or sino yung nag-view ng profile mo. So check on that, wag mo siya agad i-click, and make sure na hindi ka magbibigay ng mga details mo, especially your credentials, because the reason they're trying to making you click on those links is to steal your credentials, possibly for financial reasons. Of course, ito pa mga fake website links and fake customer support links. Next one is privacy settings anomalies. Tayo ngayon, I think most of us, we know naman na what are those privacy settings, especially on our Facebook. If we navigate on Facebook, makita natin that our posts pala can be posted in public, can also be posted for friends only, pwede din custom, pwede din only me. Now, if you have those settings already, you only have to check it siguro once a week or twice a month. Check it, baka kasi nagkaroon na ng changes. If you think na nagkaroon ng changes na hindi mo naman ginawa, there's a possibility that someone is trying to change it without you knowing. Or there an unauthorized access to your personal information. So it could be suspicious applications as well na meron ng mga permissions na hindi mo naman inallow. So check on it, and of course, check your devices. Nandun din yun siya sa Facebook, what are the devices that you are active on. Tingnan mo kung merong mga device doon na hindi naman sa'yo, hindi mo kilala. So, check always your privacy settings. Baka hindi mo alam, hindi lang ikaw lang yung may access ng social media accounts mo. Of course, suspicious contents, posts that contains malicious or harmful contents, links or attachments. So these are contents that promote scams or fraudulent activities, or even private messages asking for money or bank transfer. So always look for content that provides verifiable references or links to reliable information. Remember, critical thinking and fact checking are crucial when navigating the social media. Always seek out credible sources and verify information before sharing or acting on it. And lastly, in our 5 steps or 5 red flags, it's the unwanted communication. These are unsolicited messages or friend requests from unknown individuals. So these requests are for personal information or even financial assistance. So you have to know how to identify and block the suspicious or spam accounts. This could also be a phishing attempts actually, like the inheritance scams or the HDC scam or even the fake customer support na mga links or even mga accounts. For unwanted, meron din naman tayong tinatawag na romance and dating scams. Remember to stay vigilant when interacting online, especially on dating platforms. But even on Facebook, nagiging dating platforms na din siya, di ba? Because most of us or yung mga gumagamit ng social media, they look for new friends through Facebook or through IG or through any social media platforms. And of course, we need to know how to avoid these romance or dating scams. Now, avoiding romance scams is crucial to protect yourself from emotional and financial harm. You have to be cautious when someone you've met online professes love or strong feelings for you too quickly. Yung bago pa lang kayo nagsisimulang mag-usap, bago pa lang kayo nagkikiligan, biglang sasabihin mahal ka na agad. Huwag tayo maniwala sa mga ganon. Red flag yun. Now, look also for inconsistency or red flags in their information. Sasabihin niya, nag-aaral siya sa ganito, taga ganito siya, pero sa Facebook niya, wala namang ganon na mga info. So, you have to check first. You have to do a social media audit. Never send money as well, of course, to someone you've only met online. Specifically or especially if sinasabi nilang urgent or emergency. Kasi 'di ba pag sinabing emergency kasi parang ikaw din matataranta ka, kailangan mo din bigyan. Tapos sabihin na nasa ospital ako, ganito kailangan ko ng pera. Tapos kasi 'di ba na-fall ka na, need niya ng pera, naawa ka agad, so bibigyan mo. So never do that. Never send money to someone you've only met online because you don't know, baka hindi pala totoong tao yun. Baka hindi pala totoo na si Joe yun siya. Baka si Pedro pala yun. So you have to make sure first na kikilalanin mo muna yung tao na kausap mo online. And of course, limit the details you share about your life, your family, and especially your finances. We also have what we call grooming. Now, grooming is building a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or a young person so they can exploit, manipulate, or abuse them. The child grooming is the process when a predator tries to build a relationship with a child with the ultimate goal of sexual abuse. And this abuse can include taking sexual photos, sending sexual messages, sextortion, in-person sexual abuse, assault, or trafficking. Online or in social media, grooming can occur through social media apps like messaging apps or even online gaming platforms. So, getting a child to completely trust them is the predator's main goal. Yun talaga yung gusto nilang mangyari, magkaroon ng trust with the child. And the adult might also try to connect with their victim by giving them compliments or buying gifts, especially on online gaming platforms. So, with that, you have to protect your child. Di naman sasabihin natin na bawal na silang gumamit ng social media or maglaro online, but you have to encourage your child to be share aware by talking openly about what they're doing online, who they're talking to, and of course, what they're doing online. Create a family environment where your child feels safe talking about difficult topics, and you can also monitor texts, emails, and social media platforms. Hindi naman sa i-invade talaga natin yung privacy nila, but at least know what they're doing, like who they're talking to and what they're talking about. So, what are the benefits of protecting personal data? So, first of all, it's you can prevent identity theft. Now, safeguarding personal information on social media helps prevent identity theft, where malicious actors steal sensitive data to impersonate individuals for fraudulent purposes, mainly for financial goals. Next one is you can protect your privacy. So by controlling the information shared online, we can protect our privacy and prevent unauthorized access to our personal details, ensuring a sense of security and, of course, confidentiality. We minimize as well the risk of data breaches and cyber attacks because social media platforms are susceptible to data breaches and, of course, cyber attacks. Now, safeguarding our personal information reduces vulnerability to such risk, mitigating the potential impact of security incidents. It also helps us maintain our reputation. Now, carefully managing personal information helps maintain a positive online reputation. Avoiding oversharing or disclosing sensitive details can prevent reputational damage and potential harm to one's professional or personal image. Ensuring control as well over our digital footprint, we can retain control over our digital footprint and how they're perceived online. So this control allows for greater autonomy in managing online interactions and, of course, content sharing. We promote trust as well by protecting our personal data. Safeguarding personal information fosters trust among all social media users. So this creates a safer and more trustworthy online. And lastly, knowing what not to post online. Protecting personal information in social media is essential for maintaining privacy, security, and trust in the digital interactions, emphasizing the need for individuals to be vigilant and proactive in safeguarding their online identities. Now, how to be safe or how to avoid catfishing or grooming. So we have 4 steps here. First is doing a reverse image search. So you can do a reverse image search of the person you chat with. So how can you do this? You can download their photo or profile picture and then upload it to a reverse image tool such as Google Image Search. So pwede natin maglaman doon if that photo is being used by someone else or hindi naman pala siya totoo na may-ari ng photo na yun. So you can do that in Google Image Search. Groomers as well use stolen or manipulated images. So by reverse imaging those mga photo, you can check if that photo appears somewhere else or anywhere in online. Next is do a social media audit. So what is social media audit? It is investigating the person's social media profiles. Look for inconsistencies such as mismatched details or konti lang yung mga ginagawa niya on social media, like limited lang yung activities. Check for their friends, even their posts, and even their interactions. So you have to be cautious on their online presence are medyo suspicious or medyo curated. Just like medyo bago pa ginawa yung profile nila. Bagong-bago pa talaga ang pag-create ng profile nila. And konti lang yung mga friends or yung mga friends nila, it's suspicious din. Like mga dummy accounts din. You can also confirm their identity by video calling. So you can request a video call to see the person real time para malaman mo kung yung picture niya is totoo talaga. Malalaman mo if too edited or talagang iba yung ginagamit niya na photo through video calling. Of course, trust your instinct. If something feels off, trust your gut. Be wary of overly flattering or evasive behavior and talk to someone you trust. So share your suspicions with a friend or family. They might have a different perspective. Discuss any concerning interactions and of course, let them know if there are red flags. So remember, vigilance and caution are essential when we are interacting online, especially with catfishing and grooming. Now, how to avoid naman yung mga cyber stalking? First is you have to keep a low profile. Don't post everything you do online and avoid disclosing personal and sensitive information. Adjust your privacy settings as well. Not all the posts that you can post on social media are meant for public. Pwede naman siguro friends lang or naka-custom din. So that way, you can prevent cyber stalkers. Next one, pag meron ka na talagang na-feel na meron talagang cyber stalkers o may nag-stalk sa'yo, you can block the person or report the person on Facebook or whatever platform you are using. And pag sobra na yung ginagawa niya or natatakot ka na, you can also report to authorities. So, to report to authorities, you can do screenshots, especially if meron silang mga messages sa'yo, screenshot everything, and then of course, yun ipapakita natin sa authorities. Of course, di kasi natin maaano, di ba, na magre-report ka without evidence. So, those screenshots will be your evidence. Next is protecting yourself from social media identity theft. So the number one thing you need to do and remember is that it's not recommended to post your IDs online. Kahit pa sabihin natin, nakuha ko na yung national ID ko for a very long time or nakuha mo na yung PRC ID mo, don't post it online because those are government IDs that they can use against you. Pwede nilang gamitin nila, sabihin na sila yun. Change lang nila yung photo, yung name mo, yun pa rin. Yung mga details ng ID mo, yun pa rin. Pwede nilang gamitin yun. So don't ever post your IDs online. Don't overshare. Not all the things that happens in our life are meant for social media. Limit as well app sharing. And if meron kayong mga old accounts, like may ginawa kayong mga accounts before, na deactivate nyo na yun sila, make sure na they are all deactivated well. Baka kasi gamitin pa yun ng iba, yun ang ma-hack. Akala mo na deactivate mo na talaga yun siya, but someone else got a hold of your account at ginagamit na pala yun. So you have to check. So how can you check if ginagamit yung account mo? Of course, you can search your name on social media. Pag lumabas pa yung sinasabing closed na account mo, that means na meron ng ibang gumagamit. And of course, what you can do is report it to the platform. Kasi yun lang naman magagawa natin. You can report it to the platform and tell your friends to report that account as well. Next one is promoting trust. In social media, of course, we have friends there. So dapat alam natin na or yung mga friends natin na tayo talaga yun. So don't post explicit content on online platforms kasi hindi lang naman ikaw yung nakakakita ng mga post mo. Probably you have friends na mas bata or minors pa or even your workmates or your mga heads. So don't post explicit content. Next one is keep it private. Don't post too much on social media, your financial, your location, everything. Everything that is called sensitive personal information. And of course, keep it authentic. Authenticity is key to building trust, and social media provides a platform for you to express your genuine self. So what are the things that we can't post online? Never disclose trip details before and during the during the trip. Don't post it, especially your location, kung sino kasama mo, o saan kayo pupunta. So when you share kasi your trips online, or especially at the moment, I am at the beach with my whole family, it's like advertising sa whole social media ng mga friends mo that there's no one at home. Walang tao sa bahay kasi kaming lahat nandito sa trip. So it's like signaling them na ay pwede kami magnakaw sa bahay nila kasi wala sila doon. And never share full birthday. Kasi 'di ba meron ka ng name, social media, you have your picture, you have your address. Baka nga full address pa nilalagay. That's not recommended as well. Um, and of course, your full birthday. They can use that against you. Pwede silang gumawa ng IDs na ikaw daw. But of course, hindi ikaw yung gumagamit. Beware, of course, of fun online quizzes. Di ba meron tayong makita mga online quiz sa social media. Baka yung mga hinihingi nila na questions are mga sensitive data na like your full name, your birthday, kailangan mo daw ilagay kung saan ka pinanganak, ano yung birthday mo from month, date to year, para malaman kung sino yung ka-birthday mo ng mga artista. Beware of that because they're actually digging for information about you and those are sensitive data. Never brag as well big purchases or nagpipicture ka sa bahay mo, nakikita lahat ng mga mamahaling bagay. Especially if magdi-disclose ka din ng trip details. So, alam na nila na meron kang mga ganitong bagay sa bahay na pwedeng nakawin and they know when to get those things because nagdi-disclose ka ng trip details. So, don't ever do that because you are just giving them update kung ano yung pwedeng nakawin and kailan silang pwedeng pumunta sa bahay ninyo. So, remember, what you choose to share on social media is always your decision. Kayo yung magde-decide kung ano yung gusto nyong i-share online. But what others choose to do with your information may not always be in your control. So remember that always when you try to post on social media. So how can we reduce cybersecurity risk? First is, of course, using multi-factor authentication and strong password. Di ba meron naman tayo sa social media natin na pwede nating enable yung multi-factor authentication na kahit pa nag-input ka na ng password mo, magna-notify pa siya sa connected device that is this you? Yes or no? So, syempre, pag hindi ikaw yung nag-try na mag-access nun, you say no. And what you do next, pag hindi ikaw yun, is you have to change your password right away. Because magti-trigger lang itong multi-factor authentication if they know your account password and they're trying to access it. And this multi-factor authentication will be the one na mag-gatekeep sa kanila, hindi nila yun ma-access agad. Sila yung magko-control. So ikaw naman, it's up to you to say yes or no. But of course, alam na natin na hindi kayo yun. Kasi 'di ba hindi naman kayo nag-try mag-access. Now, once you say no na, you have to change your passwords right away. Now, for a strong password naman, in order for us to have a strong password, it has to be at least 12 complex passwords or characters. So, what is a complex character? So, that is it's a combination of lowercase, uppercase, numbers, and even special characters if possible. So if you have more than 12 characters na complex, mahihirapan yan sila magkuha ng access ng account mo through a password attack. So with that, you're protecting yourself as well. But of course, don't use mga passwords that are common passwords or dictionary passwords. What are those dictionary passwords naman? These are your birthday, birthday ng mga anak nyo, ng partners nyo, ng girlfriends nyo, ng boyfriends nyo, ng crush nyo, ano pa ba? Name ng crush nyo, na always yung sinasabi na yung crush ko is si V ng BTS, si Mingyu. So, alam na yun ng mga tao, especially those people around you who you share those details with. So, with your password, don't create a password that can be identified na ikaw yun, na ito yung possible na passwords niya. So, those are common or dictionary passwords. So, if you try to create a password na 12 character or more than 12 character password, it should be random. But of course, easy to remember. Kasi 'di ba mahirap naman if makakalimutan natin siya always. So, check your privacy settings as well. Always check your privacy settings. Even though alam mo na hide na yung iba mong mga details or hindi, yung mga post mo is naka friends only or custom, check it always. Baka kasi nga meron nang nakapag-access ng account mo and nag-change sila ng privacy. Baka din, pwede na nilang i-change din yung account mo or your password. Hindi ka nag-check ng privacy settings mo, hindi mo alam na log out ka na pala and wala ka ng access sa account mo. So always check the devices, always check the privacy settings, and of course, increase your cybersecurity awareness. Kasi hindi natin alam, baka may mga bagong modus na in this day and age, every year may mga bagong modus yung mga cyber criminals. As our technology advances, yung mga cyber criminals are advancing as well. So dapat tayo din are always up to date with cybersecurity awareness. And of course, you can learn this cybersecurity awareness through our trainings here in the ICT. So we conduct naman mga trainings din, not just online. So monthly, may gagawin kaming mga monthly na cybersecurity awareness, discussing more about cybersecurity. So itong na-discuss ko right now is just a short part of cybersecurity. So you can learn more about this through our trainings din naman. And to end my slide, we'll leave you with this quote. Cybersecurity is not expensive compared to the cost of having a cyber attack. It's just like prevention is better than cure. Kasi meron tayong pwedeng gawin on our cybersecurity, like protecting our passwords, always changing our passwords, creating a complex password. But if we don't do this, pwedeng mas malaki yung impact ng mga cyber criminals sa atin. It's possible that damage our reputation, makuha nila yung mga pera natin on our banking or online banking, or mawalan tayo ng mga access sa mga accounts natin, or all of that in just one attack. So it's better to always have cybersecurity. And if you want to learn more, of course, of our cybersecurity and all of our trainings now for free, you can check our Facebook page. So we have cybersecurity and data privacy awareness every month. And even for those mga NGAs or mga schools, you can also invite us to talk about cybersecurity. Just message us on our Facebook page. Now, that's it po, for our cybersecurity awareness for this session, Ma'am Karina. So thank you po for letting us give this presentation.
Thank you, Engineer Jessa, no? That's a very comprehensive inputs, no, sa paghatag og kaning reminders, mga warnings, no, sa paglikay sa kaning cyber crimes, no, hitabo especially sa atong mga social media accounts, no, diya sa Facebook, mga Facebook accounts, no. So, Ms. Jessa, nag-mention ka kanina, no, na never disclose trip details. That's a very timing na reminder, especially for those planning, no, to have their vacation, no, sa kaning during Holy Week, no, outside their homes, no, kaning magbakasyon sa asaman, no, sa beach or sa kaning mga resorts, no. So never disclose trip details good because diha mo atake ang mga criminals. So
Yes,
kana
true, ma'am.
kayaan nila ilahang mga panimalay, so they have to be careful in posting, no, sa ilang mga trip details. So Engineer Jessa, no, so unsa man gyud ang ato ang or naba mo'y data or information kung asa ba gyud mostly, no, ma-victimize ang mga kaning kababayen-an, no, especially that we are celebrating the National Women's Month, no, so mga pahimangno po nato ni sa ato ang mga kababayen-an.
So usually ma'am sa mga report na mga na mo, no, especially during our mga talks kana nag-add to me sa mga LGUs or even sa mga schools, naman yung mga na mag-report na ma'am ingani nahitabo sa amua, ingani ang mga situation. So usually it's all about romance scam jud ma'am. Ang nakaanaw pa ani niya is like abi gyud nila na mga foreigner ilang mga ka-chat or tinuod jud na foreigner ilang mga ka-chat. It's just that na dili jud love ang ilahang goal. They are trying to get money out of them jud. Basically, they will give siguro mag time jud to have a relationship like mag ano gyud sa i-build jud nila ang relationship katong mga foreigners build yung relationship with that person or that woman, and then of course nagkaroon na ng feelings na mag-ingon dayon ang foreigner na magpadala siya og mga gamit like na siya mga ginapalit na didto magpadala pa na sila og mga resibo na mao ni ang price sa ilahang ipadala. And then of course, 'di ba, kung gikan sa gawas, moagi pa na siya og ganang customs sa ingana and nakay bayaran. It's just that walay moabot. Pero naay mo tawag sa ilaha na, "Ma'am, para makuha nimo ni nga package, kailangan nimo ni bayaran." And 'di ba moingon man 'pag package magdepende pod kung pila ang amount. So basically ang amount na ano nila sa mga resibo is magkantidad jud siya mga milyon. So dako-dako ang need nila ibayad kay para makuha tong mga package. Pagbayad nila, ang gamit pa is siguro Palawan, para ipadala lang daw, and then ang mag-receive, dili taga for example diri sa Davao kay mostly ang mga report man diri Davao region man, dili pa gyud siya sa Davao region ma-receive. Sa lain pa gyud nga lugar sa Pilipinas. And then of course, after ana, tingala na lang sila, nag-away-away sila sa yang foreigner, pero dili pod nawala na ilang communication. So nagahulat sila nga moabot tong package, nakahatag na sila sa kwarta, pero nagkaroon na sila away, di na sila ma-contact. So after a few days, after a few weeks, walay niabot, nagreklamo na dayon sila. Pagreklamo nila, with our partners sa CACC, pag mga ingani nga mga scam sa CACC ato nga tuan, ang giingon nila is dili lang di ay kato ay ato nga mga cases. Daghan na di ay nga mga cases ang nahitabo. So kana atong bantayan no, dili ta agad-agad even if miingon nga taas na mo time nga nagkaroon na mo'y close na mo niya, but when it comes to providing money na jud, red flag na gyud na siya. Pag mag-asa na sila kwarta, that is a big red flag. Bisan pag miingon ka nga in love na kay kana niya, pag kwarta na ganing istoryahan dapat dili gyud ta mag ano na ihatag dayon. Magduha-duha ta mag-ask tag mga laing tao when it comes to ani nga mga sitwasyon.
Oo, kay medyo dugay-dugay na po ni siya nga concern, no? So naagi hapoy mabiktima, no? So kana siya sa mga kababayenan, no? Maging careful jud ta ani. Okay, especially katong Ma'am Jessa, no? Katong mga nagapangita og greener pasture, no? Outside the country, no? Through kaning dating, no? O pangita og kaning mabana, maka-partner, no? Nga mga foreigners. Okay, so dili tanan tinuod no ang gina-offer sa kaning sa social media. Okay, Ma'am Jessa, no, kabahin pud aning kaning atake or kaning cyberbullying, no. So naapod kini nga mga concerns, no, especially sa ato mga kabatanunan pod, no. So unsay inyohang tan-aw ani Ma'am Jessa?
Sa cyberbullying ma'am, medyo lisod siya nato i-discuss no kay more on ano man gud ni siya psychological. Wala naman gud kabalo ang mga bata sa effect ani sa ubang mga bata pod. Is give more awareness to students in regards to cyberbullying. But right now, ma'am pod, we partner with a lot of mga schools pod, ma'am, no, regarding cyberbullying. So once we conduct cybersecurity awareness, apil na po dito ang cyberbullying. So hopefully more mga tao pod or organization will conduct more about cyberbullying kasi lisod pod nato siya i-discuss na wala kayo tay awareness about what is the psychological pod na mga aspects when it comes to cyberbullying, ma'am.
Alright, so moadto ta sa kaning protecting, no? You mentioned earlier, no? Katong pag-protect sa mga personal data, which is kasagaran gyud ta diri gyud ta maigo pod, no? Or mamali, no? Pirmi like kung mag-join ta og mga kaning online games or kanang magtan-aw ta og movies, I think murag daghan akong makita no sa Facebook na yung mga movies nga ipa-click ka na og link no, pero kuan dayto siya kanang scam dayto siya or unsa ni ma-compromise imuhang kuan or ma-hack imuhang account. Pero kaning pwede ta makahatag og kaning kuan example no, kaning preventing identity theft no, unsa di mga kuan ini mga panghitabo no, kung saan pag kana
Pinaka ano siguro na ma'am no nga incident na regarding mga identity theft is back in 2016 or back on 2020, mga 2016 ma'am, ay saka teacher, nag-post siya sa iyang PRC ID sa Facebook. So back on 2016 man good, pag mag-loan ka sa mga bangko, pwede na katong photocopy lang. But right now, buti na lang po na ano po niya sa mga bangko nga kailangan na gud nila tan-awon ang original na mga documents before nila dawaton. But pwede pa po di siya mahitabo kasi karon. So what happened on 2016 kani siya nga teacher pag-post niya sa iyang ID na nakuha na pud siya sa iyahang work as a teacher sa isa ka public school, ang iyang payslip nakuhaan na og loan. Pag ano niya syempre wala man siya nag-loan, ngano man na nakuhaan na og loan ang ako ang payslip. So pag check niya, naa gyud di ay siya loan, duha ka buok. Nga dili siya ang nag-loan syempre. Nag-check siya sa bangko, ngano na ako'y loan diri nga wala man ko nag-apply. Pag tan-aw sa bangko gipakita ang documents, iyahang ID ang gigamit pero lahi nga picture. So gikuha lang ang iyahang ID, gialisdan og picture, tapos mo to ang gigamit for that loan. And that loan was I think 800,000. Nabayaran to niya for that ano because iyahamang pangalan ang nakabutang dito nga nag-loan. So pwede pod na sa isa ka Facebook page sa isa ka business. Like what if ma-hack ang imong business na page, Facebook page? Syempre ang mga tao they would think na katong mo mga customers, they would think na imuha paghihapon to. So magpadala pa sila kwarta for bayad sa imong mga products kung unsa man imong business, and pag walay mo abot sa ilahan ng mga products, syempre ikaw ang makasuhan, ikaw ang mareklamo nga ngano man ni siya, scam man ni siya nga ano, because you don't know nga na-hack na pala imong account. Or if dili nimo protektahan nimong identity, dili nimo protektahan nimong password, especially katong imong business na account, syempre pwede makuha sa uban, daghan pa ang mabiktima, and of course ikaw pud ang makasuhan. So, ikaw man ang nahibalan nila nga tag-iya ato nga mga Facebook page. So daghan kay makita og ingana no. So may untaog ka ng tao lang na nag-ano na ngayo og GCash ingana. What if daghan na sila because business. So daghan po tayo makitang ingana po na mangayog GCash na di ba sa ato karon naman jud times sa di na to ma-open ang GCash. Nya kailangan na kayo na to magbayad. So mag-asta sa atong friend na pa-send sa GCash ani niya bi nga number kay di na ko ma-open. So natural na gina na mahitabo gina siya sa ato karon. But what if dili dito tinuod nga siya ang tag-iyas account, di dito tinuod nimo na friend na mangayo siya og GCash pa-send ato. So kinsa karon ang magbayad sa gihiram sa imuha. So before ka maghatag og kwarta, especially ka ng mga GCash lang na abi nimo og friend, tawagan sa nato sila. Video call, ayaw i-chat. Kay kung i-chat man gud nimo katong hacker, naa siya access sa inyong video ay sa inyong messages, di ba? And kung unsa mo magstoryahanay, like ang tawagan ninyo is Beshi, Beshi pud ang tawag niya sa inyo kay tun-an man na nila ang inyong conversation. Ingana naman kahawd ang mga hackers karon tun-an nila unsaan mo pagstorya. So abi gud nimo nga imong kastorya isang imong friend. So before ka mag-send og kwarta, tawagan nimo through video call or tawagan nimo sa iyang number mismo. Ayaw i-message.
ina no sa pag-connect no sa sharing of kaning personal data no. So pwede ka mabiktima sa kaning identity theft, no? So kana siya katong gi-mention nimo ma'am, no, nga mag-share og mga ID nga naay basic information, no, og kaning labaw na naay signature, no? So we have to be careful, no, sa katong birthday. I-mention na to ni ma'am ganina. So kana ang uban man mga parents, no, excited sila usahay mag-post og kaning mga certificate of awards, no, sa ato ang mga anak, no, kay kana nakadawat sila og mga awards, mga recognition from their school. So naadihay mga signatures, no, so we have to be careful. Pwede siguro matabunan na siya, no, kung di gyud malikayan nga gusto nato i-post, no, so tanggalon nato, i-delete nato ng mga basic information, no, para dili siya ma-share, no, mga personal data nato. All right, Ma'am Jessa, how about kaning example, no, sa kaning protecting, minimizing risk of data breaches and cyber attacks? So na-mention po nimo ni ganina, no, sa katong protecting personal data. Do you have murag sample ani ma'am?
Protecting risk, ma'am, no?
Minimizing risk, no, of data breaches, cyber attacks.
Number one jud ani ma'am is your passwords. Mo gid na ang makaprotekta sa ato atong password. Kay halos tarad man gud nato mga especially sa atong phone, no. Pag minimizing risk yun, number one natong i-protect is atong phones. Ganong phone. Di ba pag munggawas ta karon sa balay, ang pinakauna natong kuhaon is atong cellphone. Bahalag walay kwarta or kinala kay sinsilyo pang pamasahe siguro, pero importante nga na ang phone kay natod to on GCash, online banking, ang pang-communication nato. Isa po na siya nganong ginaprotektahan nato because not only naadra atong kwarta but naatanan dira atong data. So once mawala atong cellphone, makulbaan ta basig makita nila ang mga conversations, ang atong mga passwords kay gipangbutang nato sa notepad, mga passwords sa tanan natong banking, nya gibutang ra pud nato dito atong banking na mga apps. So to minimize those risks is of course to create passwords jud. Ayaw ta kung sa atong cellphone, ayaw pud ta mag-pin nga 000 tanan or 1 2 3 4. Ayaw ta, much better gani wala tong pin nga upat lang kay mas dali kayo siya makuha. Better nga mag-ano kag Face ID or fingerprint or kung pwede katong pattern. Much better tong ingato kay para mas maano nimo nga even if nawala imong phone or nabilin nimo somewhere, dili nila ma-open ay mo ang cellphone. Or kung ma-open man nila, gi-delete na nila tanan ang imong kay mao lang man to way nga ma-open nimo ang cellphone, i-delete or mag-restore ka sa imong cellphone or i-reformat nimo. So minimizing risk, the first thing you need to do is to create a safe or very secure nga password, which is dapat more than 12 characters. 12 characters, dapat lowercase and uppercase na kay number, and kung pwede pa mag-add, special character. Mao na siya makatabang sa ato to minimize the risk of data breaches.
Okay, so we have additional pa ma'am nga mga inputs, no, mga reminders nato para sa ato ang publiko. Medyo kuan siya, no, very interesting gyud siya nga topic, no, because kana daghan og kaning mga nabiktima, no, o kana dili na nato ni siya gusto, no, may tabo sa uban or makaatag pa or magpadayon pa.
Yes, no. Since limited lang atong time ni konti lang gyud ang ako ang na-discuss on cybersecurity. So, I enjoy you guys na mag-appeal pod or i-like among page DICT Region 11 na dito tanan among mga details sa mga trainings na free tanan, mostly online. If you want to know more about cybersecurity and data privacy, just like our page po, because we will post kung kano sa amin buhat na po og online na mga cybersecurity awareness campaigns, and mostly that is once a month. But if magdagan-dagan po mig time, pwede pod mi maghatag og twice a month na online, or pwede pod na mag-request mo sa mo to conduct cybersecurity awareness sa inyo mismo. So kana lang, no, because limited atong time. Just remember, always change your password. Sa isa ka year, dapat naka-change tag at least 4 times to make sure na kita lang yun ang may tag-iya sa ato ang mga accounts. So, thank you, ma'am, no, for inviting us here in your segment in PIA.
Yes, oo, daghang salamat kaayo, Ma'am Jessa, no, sa imong pag-share, no, kung unsaon pag-identify, pag-recognize sa mga red flags, no, in social media. And next time, ma'am, no, maybe more inputs, more insights, no, kung unsaon nato paglikay, no, nga mabiktima ta sa mga cybercrimes. Okay, thank you so much. Mao kato si Engineer Maria Jessa Garsuta, Engineer 3 and Cybersecurity Co-Focal ng DICT Region 11. Daghang salamat, ma'am. So this ends our One Davao Virtual Presser episode today. Sa ngalan sa Philippine Information Agency, kininyong higala karina kayon. Nagapasalamat sa inyong padayong pagpaminaw. Alang sa dugang impormasyon, mamahimong mo bisita sa Facebook page sa Philippine Information Agency Davao Region. Salamat ug mayong hapon.
Sa isang iglap, maaaring matupok ng apoy ang iyong tahanan, pinagkakakitaan, at ang pinakamatindi ay ang iyong buhay. Ayon sa Bureau of Fire Protection, mayroong 15,679 na insidente ng sunog mula Enero 1 hanggang Disyembre nitong nakalipas na taon. Nakababahala ito sapagkat bukod sa patuloy na pagtaas ng datos ay kapansin-pansin na ang mga sunog ay karaniwang nangyayari sa residential areas. Kaya naman sa pagpasok ng tag-init, higit na pag-iingat ang kailangan upang makaiwas sa sunog. Makiisa sa Fire Prevention Month, maging responsable at wais sa paggamit at pangangalaga sa ating tahanan, opisina o pampublikong lugar. Ugaliin ang regular na inspeksyon o pag-check ng appliances at kuryente upang makatipid at makaiwas sa trahedya. Maging responsable rin sa paggamit ng kandila, kalan o mga gamit na maaaring pagmulan ng apoy. Maging alerto, maging fire safety ready.
Disaster Watch. Paghahanda bago ang lindol. Alamin ang mga maaaring magdulot ng pinsala sa inyong lugar. Maging pamilyar sa mga sumusunod: fire extinguishers, medical kit, exit routes, evacuation plan. Siguraduhing matibay ang bahay at paayos ang mga sirang bahagi nito. Ayusin ang pag-iimbak ng mga nakalalasong kemikal at mga bagay na maaaring maging sanhi ng sunog. Siguraduhing ligtas ang pagkakalagay ng mga mabibigat na bagay. Ihanda ang go bag na naglalaman ng mga kinakailangan. Makipag-ugnayan sa mga lider para sa plano sa paglikas. Pag-usapan din sa pamilya kung saan tutungo sa oras ng kailangan lumikas. Makilahok sa mga pagsasanay ukol sa lindol. Sa panahon ng sakuna, dapat laging listo.
Walang higit na puwersa kaysa isang babae na nagpupunyagi at nagtatagumpay. Sa pagdiriwang ng Buwan ng Kababaihan, nakikiisa ang Philippine Information Agency sa Lipunang Patas sa Bagong Pilipinas, Kakayahan ng Kababaihan, Patutunayan. Tunay na ipinamamalas ng kababaihan ang kanilang kakayahan at husay sa ating lipunan. Ang kanilang tagumpay at kontribusyon ay patunay ng kasiglahan at kaunlaran ng ating bayan. Kaya't hinihikayat namin ang lahat na maging bahagi ng pagpapalakas ng kababaihan. Bigyan natin sila ng espasyo upang ipahayag ang kanilang mga boses at maisakatuparan ang kanilang mga pangarap at layunin. Higit sa lahat, patuloy nating isulong ang patas na pagtrato at pagkakataon para sa kanila dahil ang kanilang tagumpay ay tagumpay ng buong lipunan. Sa ating pagkakaisa, patunayan natin na ang lakas ng kababaihan ay tulay sa paghubog ng isang mas maunlad, makatarungan at patas na lipunan. Mabuhay ang mga kababaihan ng Pilipinas, mabuhay ang lipunang patas at makatarungan para sa lahat. Abante, babae!